Morning everyone. Good morning, good morning. What's going on? I'm just sitting here on the old laptop. Look, I'm looking at cars, trying to get. I'm looking for a 7-seater. I've got the radio on as well, just listening on the old CV. I'm looking for a 7-seater car. I need it by tomorrow, really, but I'm going to get nothing by tomorrow. I think now it's got to be reasonably cheap. I believe it's got to be automatic, and you know, trying to find an automatic car is bloody difficult. There are bloody manuals everywhere, aren't they? And it's got to be automatic. We can't have nothing that's not automatic. Because the person that I want the car for can only drive automatic cars. And look, they're all manual, man. All manual. Everywhere's manual. So it's proven to be quite difficult. This one here, look. There's one here. Bodywork, slight marks, dents from elderly driver. Oh, we've got an elderly driver, have we? What are these 7-seaters? These ain't 7-seaters though, are they? These C-Maxes, I think. I typed in bloody Ford 7-seater automatic because I thought it'd give me a range of all the 7-seater Fords. Now, it doesn't have to be Ford, but I'm starting with the Ford, and then we'll go on to other different manufacturers. That's about the sort of price mark we're looking at. But yeah, man, they're all manual, or they come up with these C-Maxes. I don't think the C-Max is a 7-seater, is it? That's a manual and all. Bloody hell, like bloody hell. The struggle is real, you lot. The reason I want it is, for me, my brother-in-law, right? His missus learnt to drive, and so her birthday tomorrow. No, so trying to find a car. Give her a car, give them a car, because it's not just for her, it's for them, for the whole family, because at the moment we all go out everywhere all the time, but they're always stuck. They have to get trains, or we all have to give them lifts. When she finally passes her driving test, she'll have a car there then, and I think it'll just be a good present for them all, for the whole family. So trying to find they need to be a 7-seater because they're a 6 family. They've got 6 people in their family, so it has to be a 7-seater, and it has to be automatic because she can only drive automatics, and it is very, very difficult trying to. I mean, I could go and get a manual Ford Galaxy manual. There's loads of those manual Ford Galaxies for under £1,000, 650 quid. There was one within 10 miles from me, but it was manual, 650 quid. There wasn't anything wrong with it apart from I think the interior was a bit tatty, but I can sort that out. I can give the interior a good old clean, a good wet vac, and a vacuum in a wet vac, and I can polish all of that, no problem. It was a bit tatty, but the rest of it was fine. And the bloke said it drove fine, there was nothing wrong with it. He just upgraded to a new car, and he was getting rid of his old Galaxy for, what was it? I think it was 650 quid or something. Or it might be 750. It was something like that. I thought just so many, I get mixed up. But it was manual. So it's out of the question. It's not even a case of, it could be manual, but prefer automatic. It's got to be automatic. So yeah, it's getting difficult. But I won't abandon it. I'm determined to find a car to give them, even if it's after her birthday. I'm still going to find one, and I will give it to them. It's just going to take time. So if any of you lot have an automatic 7-seater, which is, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect for that price, bloody Jesus, but as long as it's roadworthy and there's not a lot to do, right? Ideally nothing mechanical, because I haven't got the bloody time, man. I mean, literally I haven't got enough time to live my own life, let alone do something somewhere, but I'll do what I can do. If it just needs a clean, I can do that, no problem. An hour or so on a Sunday afternoon before I give it to them. It's got to be like sort of 600, 650 or less, you know what I mean? If it's any more than that, I'm going to ask the rest of the family to chip in, and then we'll get it as a group present. But at the moment it's just from like me and my family. But yeah, if anyone knows of an automatic 7-seater, it doesn't have to be Ford, it could be any brand, and it's local to me. Either that, unless you're going to get it brought down, which I don't think you want to do that for that price, but yeah, just let me know, you lot. Let me know. But I'm bloody I'm going through all of these. They're all bloody manuals. I'm going to go off of eBay. eBay was my first look. I'm going to go on to Auto Trader and all the other ones next. But man, it's proving difficult. I've been out here for about 2 hours so far trying to find one. I've been looking for days before, but I've been out for about 2 hours now trying to find one and I can't. So it's bloody hard, man. Automatics, that's the trouble, isn't it? See, there is the automatics that are there. I've got gearbox problems. I don't want one with gearbox problems, man, because I just haven't got the time or the money to sort that out. So it has to be working. It's as simple as that. And trying to find one that actually works. All the automatics are for sale because they're broken. It's as simple as that. There's not an automatic for sale that ain't broken. That's the trouble, isn't it? Really. Speaking of cars, I bought these wheel trims to put on the Kia. I put one on earlier. I'll put a picture in if I remember. But they look crap. So put them there for now. I'm going to try and get a wider tyre, I think, and then they might look alright. What the bloody hell's happened here, look. Just got a mountain of stuff all over again. I've managed to sell that pressure washer. So I've got to box that up now and get that ready to be posted off. I'm having a good old tidy up, look. Nice clean floor now. So I can put it in the middle here. I can have a good old package ready to rock and roll. So I was given this pressure washer, this little Ryobi easy clean pressure washer thing, because smoke started coming out the motor. Well, the motor doesn't turn. I think the little pumps had it jammed up in there, so I'm just taking it apart now, seeing if I can work out what the trouble is with it, because this will be handy. I was given it, so if I can fix it, then that's good. So I'm trying to see if I can find what exactly is jammed up. That's jammed. But I need to try and get these out, and these have got locked thread lock on them, so I'm going to have to try and get those out, and then we'll see where we go after that. Well, I managed to get it apart. It's a bit rusty in there. I managed to get that little cog in there to spin. So now the motor spins. You see that in there spinning around? So I'm going to put a battery on it and see if the motor works. Clean all this up, try and find out what's jammed up inside. Got a battery on it. There's the little switch. Here we go. Ready? Hey! Pretty good little motor that. Right. Let's try and clean all this up and find out what's happened inside here. Well, this little wheel was jammed up and this little pump was jammed. I've managed to get it to turn now. You see, it was pretty jammed. It eventually got there. It doesn't feel the best. It feels a little bit sort of rough. But it might be enough to get it to work. Put a little bit of oil on it. So I'm going to put it all back together now with the little springs and everything. And put it back together and see if it actually even pumps a little bit. It might have been that it was just, I don't know, not used for a while and stopped pumping, I don't know. But if I can get this to work, I'll be over the moon, because I've always wanted one of these, but they're about 120 quid and I can never afford to spend 120 quid on a battery pressure washer. So I'll be well happy if I can get this to work. Let's put it back together and see if it works. Right, back together, everything's on. Just got to put the cover back on. And then I can attack. I haven't got the lance, but at least I know if it's going to pump, and then I can we'll go from there. But so far, so good. Pretty easy to work on, actually. Well, it works. I just put the hose pipe on it, and it works. But I've got to get the lances for it, and then we'll know if it's actually going to have any pressure and actually work properly. But yeah, seems to work alright so far, so we'll have a look at that when I get the lances for it. And yeah, hopefully I've fixed it and it's actually going to stay working, because this will come in very, very handy. I'll be using that a lot if it does work. Can't justify £120 to buy it, but for something that was free and I've got it going, love it. That one's done, ready to rock and roll. That one next. Got to get it out, find out what's wrong with it, stick it on eBay. But one thing at a time, and I'm off you lot. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll, in the next couple of days, we'll be able to see this actually working with any luck. Like I say, I'll be well over the moon if that actually works, because I've always wanted one, and it'll come in bloody handy. All I've got to do is run a hose pipe. I think you can run it from a bucket as well, but I might be wrong. But I can just run the hose pipe out there. Don't need any cables or nothing. Oh, it's going to be well handy. That's going to be brilliant, that is. Anyway, you lot, I'll catch you later. All the best. Hello, you lot. It's going to be a small, short little video, really. But I'm only doing it because I promised you lot, when I fix this, I promised you that I'd show you it the first time of it actually working with the lance and everything. Because, for those of you that might not have seen it, the story was, this was brand new, used about 2 or 3 times, and then the next time it was gotten out to be used, it just didn't work. So smoke was coming out the little motor vents, and that was that. So I took it apart, took all the screws out, took it apart, separated the motor from the pump, found out the motor was fine. So I took the pump apart, found out it had gone rusty and it was all stuck together. So I cleaned the rust out, freed the pump up, put it back together, put a battery on it and it worked. I put a hose pipe on it and water comes out and it does have pressure, but I didn't have the lance and everything with me at the time. So now I've got the lance, so I'm going to put the lance on, put a hose pipe on it and see if it actually has pressure. See if the pump's still got the pressure that it should have. I've also got the little pipe you can put in a bucket as well. But like I say, it's going to be a short video, but I did promise you lot that I would show you it the first time using it. So I honestly don't know if it's going to have the right pressure. It might work but be low pressure, I don't know yet. We'll find out in a minute. Let's go and get the hose pipe on it and we'll carry on from there. A clip on like other pressure washers, you have to screw them on. So see if I can do this with one hand. Should be able to screw that in. I'll be over the moon if this does work, because I did want one of these, just couldn't justify the bloody price tag. Let's go and get the hose pipe on it and see what happens. I'll stick a battery in it. Wait, don't you squirt me with that. I'll squirt you with this in a minute. Right, stick the battery in there. So, here we go. Let's turn that. Got that. Oi! Yeah. Stop squirting me with that water pistol, you. Rinse. Oh no, hose pipe's come off. Well, a little bit of trouble with the hose pipe, the fitting don't fit properly, but other than that, it works. The pressure's not massive. To be honest, I don't think it's got the right pressure. I think it's a bit low on pressure. For a pressure washer anyway, I think there's probably hose pipes that have got more pressure than that. But it works, so we'll call that a moderate success. Catch you later, you lot.